All right, I'm Mark from Beach2Bush Adventures. I've been dealing with MDC since 2017. I was one of those people that go to the shows many times, looking over vans, crawling underneath them. And finally, back in 2018, I made the bite the bullet and I bought the 17 HRT. We had that for a couple of years and did over 55,000 Ks in travel. And then a couple of years later, we decided to upgrade. So we've gone to the 14E here. And then of course, like how I always do with my vans, a few little modifications. And it's good to see now that with dealing with MDC, a lot of those modifications are now gone into vans. So over the last couple of years, I started getting some invites to some of the MDC events. So Sarah and I have travelled out to Big Red Bash 5 times now. Our first time out to the Big Red Bash, I did look on the owners group back then, and they were saying they're going to meet and have a few people out there. So when we were out there, we looked around for them, and I come across Steve, Zamet and Vaughan. Met them, and then they said that they got Daniel Easton here, who's actually the admin from the MDC RV owners group, and we went and chatted to him, and from that we just built a relationship. And then I got invited to the Straddie Island trip a couple of years later, and I just put that together and got to take out some beautiful vans that are new and to experience Straddie Island and just show them what's available out there. And then just grown from there, and then just talking to Vaughan at the Gympie Muster, I could see that there was like a little need for owners that, because I was doing it anyway, I was talking to new owners all the time on the phone, through the Facebook group, or contacting them by messenger, and to say I can give them assistance. So that's when I started the tag along tour, and it's worked out a treat. So we did the Grafton one, that was through Steve Zamet. There was 29 vans on that one. We had 8 in the first one, and then we had 11 on this one. We had a couple of people on our last trip that solo, and now they've done their first trip from Brisbane all the way to Adelaide and back. So it just makes me happy just doing that.
So this weekend, Vaughan and I were invited along with Mark Banks on his Beach2Bush Adventures trip. They've recently started these and they did sound very exciting. So the weekend is to take along new customers who have just recently purchased a van, and customers who have been long-term MDC lovers for a while. We had the XT19 HRT. Oliver had the Nintendo Switch. Had a bit of a play with that, and you know, you never feel like you're away from home. We had the aircon going. It was a pretty hot weekend, but we were cool as. Having Vaughan on these trips is also very handy for the customers, because we can sit around the campfire at night. We can talk about our China factory. We can talk about things, the history, just things that the customers may not have known. So having Vaughan here also adds an element of the owner and founder using the van himself as well. I think it was a real eye-opener for the guys to watch Vaughan go through, point out different things in the warehouse. It just adds that little personal touch where the customers can go through the warehouse and see where their vans have started from the very scratch. The ultimate goal for the weekend is for Mark to take out the crew, go through some wonderful countryside, camp up a couple of nights, do some tips and tricks so any of the newbies can be shown little ideas and things that they might not have known about their van. And also for the customers who have had MDCs for a while, it's a good reminder for what they can do when they're out on the road. So our first stop for the night was at the Crown Hotel in Maryvale. Pretty cute little place. It's just a pub in the middle of nowhere, a couple of houses. Thankfully, Banksy was in there directing everyone, spotting people, you know, because some of these guys, well, Carol, for example, she's only 2 days in with her van, and Banksy on the radio was pretty helpful.
The owner of Maryvale Hotel, she put on some live music for us. It was good to see everyone out there sitting around the table watching that, and we got involved in the local raffles, and I supplied some raffles as well as MDC got some bits and pieces in there, and it was a great night.
Morning, Banksy. How's it going?
Good yourself, aren't you?
I feel great now after that amazing breakfast that you put on this morning. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I'd actually like to thank my cooks, Ed, Kim, Rebecca. Thank you for the hand. It was great to have an extra set of hands there while doing breakfast for 21 people.
Wow, 21 people. Blows my mind.
And we didn't run out, so that's a good thing.
So the first plan that Banksy had in mind was to go to the Condamine River crossing. It was about 14 river crossings there, but unfortunately the last few days we've had a heap of rain around here, so the road was closed, so we could not get through there. So plan B was to head off to the Sandy Creek Hotel for the pig races. Now that's a pretty good plan B in my view.
Always with my trips I try to put in that there's something else in case of a weather event or traffic event so that you've got somewhere else to go. So we end up heading out to Sandy Creek, and the pub is just on its own, nothing else in town. Well, there is no town, it's just that.
So we rocked up there, the place was pumping, it was full of people, heaps of animals around for the kids, and we kicked a footy around for a while.
And then the main event for the night was, I think they had 6 pig races where you could buy a pig. Couldn't get to keep it though, which a lot of people thought they could.
Listening to the bidding for the pigs was something else. I mean, I'm sure you're going to see this on the video because it was funny as, and the locals were all having a ball.
So with the pig races, we all decided as a group that we would do a syndicate to buy one. So what happens is with that pig, you bet on it. We had a budget of $650, and I'm afraid our pig went for $850. And then from there, there's 7 pigs in the race. That pool ended up being $3,800 they raised for that particular race. If your pig was to win and put its nose in the trough first, half the money goes to you and the other half goes to the variety club. So it's a bit of fundraising, a bit of gambling, and all up it's just fun to watch and watch people's expressions as these little things run around. So we end up giving everyone their money back because we were unsuccessful in getting one. But congratulations to the winner. I think they scored $1,700 from that particular event.
Hey Banksy, I've been lucky enough to been chauffeured around in your truck at the Gympie Muster, but can you talk to us a bit more about your truck?
So for me, when I bought my first MDC Caravan, I was at 3.5 tonne towing with a 100 series Land Cruiser. And like all top people, you fill it up with all your toys and bits and pieces. So I was always on that weight limit. So I made that decision to step up to the truck, and it actually gives me a 7.5 tonne payload. So with my little 14E now on the back at 3 tonne, it just allows so much to go on board. When we do trips to Birdsville and that, I carry extra as well for the crew. So spare tyres, and believe it or not, I carry a full range of MDC spares on board. So when I go to these event type weekends, I can always help people out with bits and pieces, and Link's always been there from the warranty department to help me and get me stocked up when people need stuff. He's very handy to have around, actually.
According to the roll call this morning, it was Link the legend.
I believe that's my wife putting that in there. Or he saw the sheet and added his name.
It may have been my handwriting, but
So after the pig races, we headed to Queen Mary Falls Caravan Park. Again, another little place I didn't know existed. Get there, we had ice cream from the shop, and the campgrounds were beautiful, like just manicured grass everywhere. It's just so nice.
Queen Mary Falls Caravan Park is actually opposite the National Park waterfalls. So we set up camp there, gave everyone time to set it up, and as you can imagine, 11 caravans in the convoy. There's a bit of work involved in getting one into where we had to fit. We had a little cheese platter and crackers there and sat around, just had general conversations. So then we come back for my tips with Banksy, I call it. With the tag-along tours, they are aimed at mainly new owners or people that have had some vans that just want to get that confidence to go try something a bit different. When you do a handover of a van, it's very overwhelming. So then I brought that into the tours, and I can tell you from this weekend, with Link helping me, we sorted out a few issues with Carol. For her van's 2 days old, and she was out travelling with us. And seeing her this afternoon, full of confidence, and she's ready to out there explore on her own. And there's been other people that we've met in the same boat. All that builds knowledge for everyone, and that friendship then extends out. And there is a lot of people that actually just want to come along and be shown these things. So when they go in for a service now, they know what to ask there, whether it be through MDC or out in the field, they find someone, they know then now to check stabiliser legs. Now need to know they've got to check the hitch, because they don't know where to start, and once they get started, that gets them on their way. And then by doing this, if they're doing bigger trips, it allows them to do those little things on the side of the road to enjoy their product better.
It's good to go out on these tours, experience, use your van, going on these trips and getting that first-hand experience, so they can join in with everyone else and just understand their van a little bit better. So day 3, we headed off to Queen Mary Falls. So it was a short walk, about 5 or 10 minutes. And once we got down to the actual waterfall, the drop off was insane. Oliver was throwing sticks over the side, and everyone was sort of jumping on the plank to try and make everyone feel nervous. But it was so beautiful. Again, another area that I didn't know was here, and everyone had a great time just walking through there, just chilling out for a while. So again, for people who have been in Brizzy for a while and they go on these trips, they get to go to the places that they may never even know existed, or they didn't think that they could get there by themselves. And having the confidence in a group just makes it so much more exciting. I just hope Banksy invites us on another one, because I enjoy just going to these little places. I mean, I'll go on a long trip or a short trip, I don't mind. Being on the road, in the van, and everyone had a great time. It was good.
So if you'd like to book, you can go onto our Facebook and Instagram. You can go on there onto our website, Beach2Bush Adventures, and you can go in there and have a look at our upcoming trips, and like to see you out there one day.